wonder where the internet actually lives? I mean, it's not just some magic cloud, right? It runs on servers, real powerful computers. And today we're going to break down one of the most important services that basically powers the whole modern web, Amazon EC2. So yeah, let's just dive right in.
Okay, so to really get what EC2 is all about, we got to go back a bit. Think about this. If you're a company and you need a ton of computing power, you've got a big decision to make. It really just boils down to two choices. Do you buy all the hardware yourself? Or do you just, rent it? So picture this. Not too long ago, if you wanted to launch, say, a website or a new app, you literally had to go out and buy a physical server, a big metal box. And that meant waiting weeks for it to be delivered, finding a cold room to stick it in, dealing with all the maintenance, and the whole time you're just crossing your fingers that you bought the right one. Powerful enough to handle traffic, but not so crazy powerful that you're just burning cash. It was a huge, expensive, inflexible headache.
And this is where the cloud just completely changed the game. I mean, look at the difference. The old way, massive upfront costs, and you're just stuck with whatever you bought. But the new way, the cloud model, it totally flips that on its head. You only pay for exactly what you use. You can scale up or down in minutes, not months. And the best part? You never have to touch a single piece of hardware. This wasn't just a tech upgrade, it completely changed how businesses work. It lowered the barrier to entry so anyone with a great idea could get started.
All right, so this is where the hero of our story comes in, Amazon EC2. It's basically Amazon's answer to all those problems we just talked about with physical servers. And honestly, it's one of the absolute cornerstones of the entire cloud.
Now, the official definition can sound a little technical, but the words you really want to focus on are elastic, resizable, and in the cloud. The name itself, Elastic Compute Cloud, tells you everything. Just think of an elastic band. You can stretch it out when you need more and let it shrink back when you don't. That's exactly what EC2 lets you do with your computing power. It's brilliant.
So really, when you strip it all down, the idea is incredibly simple. Just think of it like a giant global rental service for computers, but they're virtual. You wouldn't buy a whole new car just for one weekend road trip, right? No way! You'd rent one, the perfect one for that trip. That's EC2. You rent the exact virtual computer you need for exactly as long as you need it. That one simple idea is the key to unlocking the power of the cloud.
Okay, so if EC2 is this huge global car rental lot, the next logical question is, how do you pick the right ride? Well, Amazon gives you this massive fleet to choose from, and every single vehicle is specially designed for a different kind of journey, or in our world, a different kind of digital job.
Let's run through a few. This is the fun part. Just need to host a basic website? You'll grab the keys to the family sedan. That's your general purpose instance. Building a high-speed online game that needs raw power? You're going to want the race car, a compute-optimized instance. How about analyzing huge amounts of data really, really fast? Well, for that, you need the minibus, something with tons of memory. And for the really intense stuff, like machine learning or complex video processing, that's when you bring out the Formula One car, the accelerated computing instance. See, you always picked a perfect tool for the job.
And what's really cool is the level of detail you get. I mean, it's incredible. Even the names, which look kind of cryptic, tell you exactly what you're getting. So something like M6i.large, it's like a code. It's basically you saying, I want a mid-size sedan, but make sure it's this year's model, not last year's. The M is the family, so its main job. The 6 is the generation, so how new the hardware is. And large, well, that's the size. It's how much horsepower you're getting under the hood.
All right, so we get what EC2 is, and we've even picked out our virtual car. Now what? How do we actually get this thing on the road? Well, the process is surprisingly simple. It really just comes down to 4 main steps. Yep, just 4 steps and you're good to go. First, you launch it. That's where you pick your operating system, like Linux or Windows, and the instance type we just went over. Second, you deploy. You just connect to your new virtual server and put your application on it. Now, step 3. This is where the magic really happens. You can set it up to scale automatically. So if your site suddenly gets a huge spike in traffic, boom, more servers pop up to handle it. And when things quiet down, they disappear. It's incredible. And finally, step 4, you lock it all down and make it secure. The whole thing is built to be fast, automated, and powerful.
Now, I know this can all sound a little abstract, right? Like virtual servers, cloud computing. But here's the thing. You are interacting with EC2 pretty much every single day, and you probably don't even realize it. It's like the invisible engine that powers a massive part of the digital world we all live in.
Oh yeah, for sure. That high-traffic news website you checked this morning, that multiplayer game you were playing last night, The streaming service you binge that show on, even the giant, complex software that huge companies use to run their entire business, there's a really good chance a lot of that is running on the flexible, scalable power of EC2. It's that invisible backbone that lets these services handle millions and millions of users all at once without ever skipping a beat.
So if you take away one thing, let it be this. It all comes back to 3 revolutionary ideas. 1. You only pay for what you actually use, so no more wasting money on hardware that's just sitting there. 2. You get the power to scale instantly, to go from 1 user to 10 million overnight if you need to. And 3, you have the freedom to pick the absolute perfect tool for any job you can imagine. That is the core value proposition of EC2.
So the next time you fire up Netflix or load your favorite app or jump into an online game, just take a second to think about what's happening behind the scenes. Think about that invisible infrastructure that's making it all possible. Because our digital world doesn't just exist. It's built on millions and millions of these virtual servers, rented by the second, each one chosen as the perfect vehicle for its own unique digital journey.